what is green stays green. And why do people go out? People go out to see other people. So this space, the 1.07 acres, would be a perfect size for that. Now, one thing to think about, we have on the, as we say, we're putting on the ballot in May that the city build a park on this whole 1.07 acres. Now, the space begins, a wonderful space up here on Tullamore, continues down the street, as I say, across completely over to Meadowbrook. So that's the inclusion of the 1.07 acres. This will be wonderful synergy when you think about this with the beautiful mini park that Future Heights has created down here next to Boss Dog. It'd be wonderful synergy to have that space and to have this space. We'll be creating a much more beautiful, creative, pleasant space for everybody here who comes here. But very inviting, and also we really want to project our values, right? The Cleveland Heights, we think of ourselves as a creative community and a caring community, and we need to act that out in what we do. Okay, so it would include all of this space as opposed to the 1/3 acres. The important thing to remember in considering, should you sign our petition to put on the ballot in May, the whole park, one thing to consider, as I say, is that synergy, but also what would be the nature of the 1/3 acre park that's being proposed by the city of Flaherty and Collins. Flaherty and Collins, by the way, is the same. These are the same developers who are building the top of the hill, at the top of Cedar Hill, that large project. So it would be essentially from here on out, and you can see people's freedom to move about would be very limited by this size. It will be dominated by the luxury apartments as proposed by the city of Flaherty and Collins. They state that the average income, you can look at the document itself, the average income is projected to be $100,000 a year. So this space will be dominated by those luxury apartments. And also, again, I'm going to show you the plan later. That's my goal. I'll show you the map. But it's really going to be an extension of the courtyard. So what is the problem with that? These types of parks, these small parks, are very common, gone on for decades. They kind of sweeten the pot for the community. They're called a community benefits agreement. And what they are is basically a SOP, something that, as I say, is used to enlist people's favor, thinking, oh, we're getting a park. But what happens with these spaces, and this was researched by people in New York City, because, as I said, there's a lot of this that goes on. They build a development, and then this is something that they give to the community. What happens is it becomes not that useful for either group. For the group who are living in the apartments, and it's an extension of their courtyard, and nor is it that useful to the public, because neither group sees it really as theirs and has limited comfort with it. So you can see the disadvantages as opposed to having an activity park here. Something I want to mention, we talked about the activity park, and an activity park, what is planned, and you've seen these all across the country. There's little tiny ones kind of nestled in cities, in an exact perfect space like this. But the idea is to have things that bring people down, because people want to go out to see people. We all love to eat and drink, but we want to be able to do a little bit more than that, and this would give us an opportunity. So here's some ideas for the activity park. The space on the end, or that edge rather, would be a good place for a staircase waterfall, and because we do have the change in the grade there, and also it would be a wonderful opportunity to echo the history of this land and help educate children particularly about how our built environment interacts with our natural environment, because there's a culverted stream there. So if we place the staircase waterfall on top of that, we could use that to enhance our appreciation of our history and the natural environment. We also would have a space for a small stage for informal use. In addition, what's very important for everyone's health and comfort, and we just need to be a happier place, will be public restrooms and a public water fountain and free Wi-Fi. if there's no space to use a restroom or to wash your hands or to wash children's hands or to get a drink of water, that's open unless the library is open, which is a couple blocks down. So it's really important. It's only humane to have this. They have a beautiful facility like this in Beechwood that's open. It's heated. It's open 365 days a year. We too should offer that opportunity, especially during COVID. So we would have that. We'd have a small space, again, that could be used for various events, which could include a farmer's market, a flea market, or a festival. You of course have to have a small space for children, a place that is kind to children, that's kid friendly, is people friendly, and especially young families. And we have a lot of young families moving into these areas, these streets. It's wonderful. We love you. Thank you for moving here. But they need a space, obviously, for children. That's to come. We have, of course, some gardens, shade, all these essential things that you need to, as I say, increase beauty, increase health, would bring economic development, and would also say to the world that we care about the green space. We care about the environment. So let me see one more thing if I have anything else I didn't. I guess that's pretty much. Thank you for your patience with all this. And I guess I will close with saying that really this initiative petition, there's people circulating petitions. I hope you will sign it, and I hope you will also help circulate. This is direct democracy. This is people putting on the ballot whether or not we build a park. What's happened at this point with this development is that democracy has been sidestepped. Essentially, the city council has abdicated their role for the political process to the developers. They are entrusted to, our relationship with our government, they are entrusted to protect the health, safety, and welfare of their citizens. And we really feel that this small park does not do that, but this 1.07 acres would be perfection. I think that's all. If you want to, of course, sign the petition, and even better, circulate the petition so we can put it on the ballot in May, contact us at cedarleepark@yahoo.com, cedarleepark@yahoo.com, or call us at 216-381-5356. And again, it is our community's effort. It is direct democracy. It is your signature on a petition, adding up to with all the others. We need about 3,600, and put it on the ballot, and then you can vote yes or no. I want the park or no. And I always talk too much, but I'll end with this. When you elect a public official, they do as they may, right? You elect them to represent. We're a representative democracy. They do as they may. But in this case, this could be this I believe, is the most powerful vote you'll ever have, because, or at least one of them. I think it's the most powerful, because you're going to go into the ballot. You're going to go to the ballot and check yes, I want a park, or no, I want a park. And never before have you been able to do that. You can vote on levies. You can vote for public officials. You've never been able to say, I want this project or I don't. We couldn't vote on top of the hill. It would be wonderful to vote on this. Okay, thank you, everybody.